Sports Desk, sponsored by Route 66 Solar and Roofs.
Hey everybody, I'm filling in for Sammy St. Jean in the studio tonight as he's got Illini basketball action over in Champaign. Before we get to him though, we're going to go to high school boys basketball sectional finals with a few teams in the area hoping to keep their state hopes alive. Starting off in 2A between two Sangamo rivals facing off in Greenville tonight. Both Williamsville and Auburn entering the contest as the 1 seeds coming out of the respective regionals. We're going to call it hot lead the way the Bullets came out firing as Braden Sailing drills a 3 to cap off a first quarter shutout. But before things could get out of hand, it's a beautiful pick and roll and 1 for Clayton Kessler and Auburn. Then it's the senior Cooper Carter with some hesitation rise and fire to keep Auburn within striking distance. But it's the Bullets' 3-point shooting that puts this game to rest, as the Bullets take the rubber match and their second straight sectional title back to Williamsville. Next up, it's over to Decatur, where the Glenwood Titans take on the Mount Zion Braves in a 3A sectional final matchup. Lincoln Coaster getting the Puppies organized from deep for the Braves early on, and Glenwood responding in kind with a 3 of their own, as you can see him spot up in the corner and just drill it. And I know it was sprinkling earlier, but it is pouring threes now as Sammy Driscoll buries 1 for Mount Zion. And expanding his range, it's the center Jonathan Helm with some finesse from behind the arc. And Coaster trying to keep his guys in this one, firing from way out and nails it for the Braves. But even with the 3-point barrage, the Braves can't quite keep pace. It's the 3-seeded Glenwood Titans advancing in this one, 39-32. And finally, in another 2A matchup, the Wooden Shoes of Teutopolis take on the Cardinals of Warrensburg-Latham. And it's Warrensburg's Braden Hickey battling down low for a deuce. It's like looking for him down in the post, back down his man, a little hook and then a little scoop there. And then it's a beautiful fast break by Isaac McWardle to Brady Tolley for a bucket as the Wooden Shoes claw back. And then it's an awesome follow-away shot there for Nathan Southern as the Cardinals get back into this one. This game actually goes into overtime as the two teams just can't quite be separated. Here it is, forcing overtime, contact and count it. And then in overtime, it's Teutopolis sneaking away with the sectional title, 37-35. And we asked...
There's no words. Nobody expected us to be here. And if they did, they're lying. It's all them. Toughness and grit and resilience. I'm just so proud of them. I love it.
And over to a couple of the games we couldn't get to. It's St. Anthony out of Effingham knocking off Tuscola in 16-point victory. And then it's Leroy advancing by a 4-point margin over Gibson City Melvin Sibley. And over in Champaign, Illinois, men's hoops wraps up their regular season slate against the Purdue Boilermakers. Our Sammy St. Jean joins us now over at the State Farm Center. Take it away, Sammy.
Yes, Spencer, it was an electric atmosphere here in Champaign tonight. The regular season finale, senior night, as well as number 18 Purdue in the building. So quite the spectacle going on tonight. But at the very basic, it was an opportunity for Illinois to improve their seeding heading into the Big Ten tournament, as well as an opportunity to make it 3 wins in a row, back-to-back wins over top 25 opponents. And all of that put together was an opportunity in and of itself that Illinois was not going to waste. You can see the atmosphere, you can see the crowd. This team was packed tonight, loaded for senior night. Myers Leonard back in the building with Brett Eldridge, the Illini faithful, bringing the energy, and so did Illinois. Will Riley led the way for Illinois with 22 points, but overall a team effort. All 5 starters in double figures tonight for the Illini. But Purdue, they didn't make it easy. An electric lob from Braden Smith certainly startled the crowd. The 2-man game from Smith and Kaufman-Wren were tough for Illinois to cover, but the Illini, they hit massive shots, leaned on their stars when they needed to. Having Ivasic back and healthy seems to have really unlocked this team on both ends as they come away with the win. Final score, 88-80. And now when you look at Illinois and their hopes for the March Madness as well as the Big Ten tournament, a few games ago you were thinking the sky was falling. That loss to Duke hurt. But the way this team has turned it around, the last 3 games, 3 wins in a row, back-to-back wins over top 25 opponents, and what they showed they were able to do against Purdue tonight come March Madness, this is a team that a lot of those top seeds are not going to want to see in those future rounds should the Illini be able to keep this going and advance in March. But for me here in Champaign, that does it. I'll send it back to you, Spencer, in studio.
Thanks, Sammy. And again, like we said, just a fantastic Illini performance. Again, defeating my Michigan Wolverines earlier. But Tomorrow in sports, we'll have Lincoln Land women's basketball as the Loggers are in the Region 24 championship. And a little March Madness talk as the Illinois men gear up for their Big Ten tournament and the women wait for Selection Sunday. But for now, that'll do it for sports here on Friday night. I'm Spencer Davis. Have a good night.
Sports Desk, sponsored by Route 66 Solar and Roofs.
Now, we've had a lot of Illini and high school hoops over the past few days, but tonight we pivot to the Loggers as their women's team, ranked 4th in the NJCAA Division II, was in the Region 24 title game against number 7 Lakeland this afternoon, and the Loggers were looking to secure back-to-back Region 24 championships. So Lincoln Land 30-2 entering the game this afternoon, and they started strong early. Thomas inside, post move, Megan Harrell, perfection from the sophomore forward. Then Harrell, it's going to be out to Ellen Peterson. Cash from 3 for Peterson. She'd have a big role in this one. But Lakeland, they weren't going away quietly. Hackman to Kendra Young, and Kendra Young buries the tray ball. But it was a series of big plays from the Logger stars to make the difference. Up and under from Alexis Wade, that's smooth. Then the dynamic duo put it to bed. Harrell contact the bucket and the foul in the bucket. She makes it. Sam Lindhorst a few minutes later, I'll have what she's having. And the Loggers, they claim their second consecutive Region 24 title and secure their spot in the NJC D2 Women's Championship. Now, after the win, the Region 24 Player of the Year, Megan Harrell, talked about that honor and her attack mentality in the second half.
I knew I had to start finishing. I had to start doing my job, and that's when the and-one started coming. And I mean, I couldn't have done it without my teammates either. Amazing. I'm so happy. I'm done playing basketball after this year, and I just knew I had to lock in and just leave my mark.
Now, later on tonight in sports, we'll have more from the Loggers, including sound from Sam Lindhorst and a little Illini as we wrap things up from their win over Purdue last night. But for now, that does for sports. I'm Sammy St. Jean.
Sports Desk, sponsored by Route 66 Solar and Roofs.
We've had a lot of Illini and high school hoops over the past few days, and tonight we pivot to the Loggers as their women's team, ranked 4th in the NJCAA Division II. They were in the Region 24 title game against number 7 Lakeland this afternoon. In the Loggers, they were looking to secure back-to-back Region 24 championships. Lincoln Land 30-2 entering the game today, and they started strong early. Thomas inside to Harrell, post move to perfection from Megan Harrell. The sophomore forward does it well. Then Harrell out to Ellen Peterson, and that's cash from Peterson. She'd play a big role in this one. But Lakeland not going away quietly. Hackman to the corner. Kendra Young buries the tray ball. But it would be a series of big plays from the Logger stars that make the difference. Up and under from Alexis Wade, that's smooth. Then the dynamic duo put it to bed. Harrell contact and the bucket, fire me up. Sam Lindhorst a few moments later, I'll have exactly what she's having. And the Loggers, they claim their second consecutive Region 24 title and secure their spot in the NJC D2 Women's Championship. Now, after the win, the Region 24 Player of the Year, Megan Harrell, talked about that honor and her attack mentality in the second half.
I knew I had to start finishing. I had to start doing my job, and that's when the and-one started coming. And I mean, I couldn't have done it without my teammates either. Amazing. I'm so happy. I'm done playing basketball after this year, and I just knew I had to lock in and just leave my mark.
Now, the Loggers' other standout, Sam Lindhorst, she battled through some foul trouble to have a big fourth quarter for Lincoln Land. Now, despite the adversity in this game, Lindhorst said that this year this team was always built for this run, an accomplishment that they just had to have.
This just felt like something we had to do. This felt like something that wasn't by chance like last year because we were in a tough spot. This seems like we had a falling net that we could have, so we just come out here and play our game. Last year it was a little different, like I said, but this year we're coming in and this is just what we have to do. If we lose, that shouldn't happen, and that's what it felt like coming in.
And a little Illini to close out after Illinois picked up arguably their biggest 2 wins of the season, back-to-back W's over Michigan and Purdue, building a lot of momentum and confidence heading into next week's Big Ten tournament. In post-game, head coach Brad Underwood said that their stock is certainly rising, and when asked if this is the most confident that this team has been all season, there was no hesitation.
Yes. I think we had to go through, we had to get punched, and be honest with you, we got smacked pretty good in New York. So they bounced back, and I think when you can get up off the mat, and that's who we want everybody in our program to be.
Now, the Illini, they look like they'll be a 7 seed in next week's Big Ten tournament, the exact same seed that the women had this past week. So we'll have you covered on all of the men's action in Indy next week. But for now, that does it for sports. I'm Sammy St. Jean.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to watch more videos from News Channel 20.